A QR code on a parking meter, menu, transit sign, or payment kiosk feels trustworthy because the object feels trustworthy. An attacker exploits that shortcut by placing a counterfeit QR sticker over the legitimate code. Your phone decodes the attacker's URL and opens a convincing payment or sign-in page. The kiosk does not need to be hacked, the pointer changed. The FTC has warned specifically about scammers covering parking meter QR codes, and the FBI warns that malicious codes can lead to fake payment sites, credential theft, or malware. We will follow the complete path from physical surface to browser action, mark every trust boundary, and finish with controls for users and QR publishers. Remember the key distinction: the location lends trust, but the visible payload controls the destination. A QR code contains structured data, usually a web address in this attack. The camera finds the pattern, reconstructs the characters, and offers a link. Nothing in an ordinary printed code proves who placed it. Error correction makes a damaged symbol readable. It does not authenticate the publisher. The first boundary is decoded text to navigation. NIST guidance recommends showing the unobfuscated URL and allowing the user to accept or reject it. But long addresses, shorteners, lookalike names, and small screens can hide the registered domain. So treat the payload as untrusted input. Parsing succeeded, identity verification has not. Before opening, find the registered domain, the name immediately before the top-level suffix, and stop if it is unfamiliar or obscured. At the physical layer, the legitimate operator installs a sign. An attacker prints a second code on adhesive stock and covers the original. The phone has no sensor for authorized ink. It reads whichever pattern is visible. This can bypass email filters and messaging controls because the malicious address begins in the physical world. Pause before scanning. Look for a layered edge, misalignment, unusual gloss, damage, or a code that differs from nearby signs. Appearance is only a signal. A professional overlay can look clean, and legitimate operators also use stickers. For the organization, every public code is a real-world endpoint. Give it an asset identifier, approved destination, owner, inspection schedule, and incident process, just as you would for a network-facing asset. The scanner preview may not be the final destination. A malicious code can point to a shortener, tracking service, compromised site, or redirector. That server can inspect the device or location and choose a final landing page. The path is physical code, decoded URL, initial host, redirects, then final application. Controls must evaluate the whole chain. HTTPS is not proof of legitimacy. It encrypts the connection to the displayed domain, including an attacker's lookalike domain. If the code requests payment, credentials, a download, or urgent action, avoid the chain. Open the official app or type a known address. Managed devices can use secure web gateways to expand short links, inspect redirects safely, and block newly registered or disallowed domains. At the landing page, the attack becomes familiar social engineering. A fake portal captures card data. A cloned sign-in page steals a password and one-time code. Another page requests an application, configuration profile, or powerful permission. The QR code is the transport. The page obtains the harmful action. That reveals the control points: domain verification, password manager behavior, phishing-resistant authentication, payment monitoring, and download policy. A password manager should not autofill a saved credential on a lookalike domain. If expected credentials do not appear, stop instead of pasting them. Passkeys and hardware security keys resist replay better than codes typed into phishing pages. Managed devices should restrict untrusted installations and monitor unusual sign-ins, new devices, payment anomalies, and rapid account changes after a QR-driven session. Publishers must protect both the object and the destination. Use tamper-evident material. Record each code's location, owner, and approved URL. Inspect high-risk sites routinely and after reports. Print the official domain in readable text beside the code. Online, use a short, recognizable domain the organization owns. Keep it stable and route internally. Avoid sensitive data in URLs. Where dynamic workflows require tokens, make them signed, expiring, and bound to the intended action. Monitor DNS, certificates, redirects, cloned pages, and unexpected traffic. Prepare fast takedown contacts. For corporate workflows, prefer authenticated deep links inside an official app or portal. Then the printed symbol can identify a location or transaction instead of introducing an arbitrary web origin. Avoid 5 shortcuts. 1. An official object does not make every sticker official. 2. Camera recognition means the pixels decoded, not that the destination is safe. 3. HTTPS encrypts a connection. It does not establish business identity. 4. A reasonable preview can still redirect or use a lookalike domain. 5. Ordinary multi-factor authentication is not a complete answer because real-time phishing can relay one-time codes. Preserve independent checks across the physical surface, decoded text, registered domain, redirect chain, application identity, and requested action. If information was already submitted, close the page, contact the organization through a known channel, change the affected password, revoke sessions, notify the card issuer, review transactions, and report the exact code location. Preserve the URL and photographs without revisiting the site. Finish with the checklist. Inspect the surface for an overlay, lifted edge, or mismatch. Preview the registered domain, not familiar words elsewhere in the address. For payment, login, downloads, or permissions, navigate independently through the official app or a known website. Let Password Manager domain matching warn you, and use phishing-resistant authentication. Managed fleets should show unobfuscated URLs, inspect redirect chains, and enforce domain and download policy. Publishers should inventory every public code, use owned branded domains, add tamper evidence, inspect the physical estate, monitor destinations, and rehearse removal and takedown. If something feels wrong, stop and report the exact location. A QR code is a convenient pointer, not a certificate of trust. Copyright 2026 CipherVibe. All rights reserved.